guys, welcome to another episode of A and B to C with your co-hosts, me, Bob, and we got Adrian here as well. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about anime that would make great video games. So join us as we go through some theory crafting, what game mechanics, what kind of animes or niche animes would work well in the world of video games. I've always wanted to have this conversation with you, Adrian, because I think there's a couple of animes out there that are suited for video games. Obviously, there's obvious ones like solo leveling and, anything that's kind of like based off MMOs already or video games already where they go into a virtual world, like Sword Art Online. So,
Yeah, sure. Yep.
hopefully you've been given some time, you've put a list together, and I'll put my list together. But before we begin, how have you been?
I've been good. Still doing my weight loss thing. Still training, so I'm happy about that.
How's
It's all
training
going well
going?
so far. Training. Yeah, I'm actually getting into the swing of things.
Mm.
Getting tapped out a bit more, but just got to throw yourself in the deep end sometimes and just
Oh,
go for it.
for
There's no way.
context, for those who don't know, he does jujitsu.
I should have said that. Yeah, tapping out because it sounds so different. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My bad. My bad. I didn't. Or
Hmm,
pause, as they say. My
hmm.
bad.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me, so obviously I'm eating sweets now, so I'm in holiday mode.
Mm.
For those who are not aware, I'm going on holiday soon with my family. We're going to the lovely place Amsterdam for a short
Mm,
trip. Um, so 5 nights,
nice.
and yeah, it's going to be my daughter's first trip, so hopefully she does well on the airplanes. We got the travel sickness tablets ready just in case. You don't know with
That's good.
kids.
Good.
Yeah, so
Time for everything.
yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, so prepared for that. So I'm eating anything and everything. I'm using it as an excuse. When I come back, I'll go back on diet, so it's fine. But
I'm pretty sure you got a few days before holiday, but
oh
who's
yeah,
counting, right?
yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Dude, like chill, right? Just why are you calorie counting for me? Right?
Okay,
You're
I'll
on
just
your
keep it for myself.
yeah, exactly. You're
Yeah.
on your own journey, so just deal with yourself. God. Aside from that, anything interesting happened this week?
For me, not really. Uh, it's a straightforward, not boring, but typical life. What
Hmm.
about you?
Oh, so a couple of things really.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I got a couple of cards sent out for grading, so I want those
Oh,
to come
nice,
back.
nice.
Hopefully, they'll be ready in a month's time. So maybe we do an unboxing on this.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, well, that'll be a fun thing to do
That'd be
to show.
interesting.
Yeah. What else was there? Yeah, I've invested heavily into the Gundam TCG now, so I bought another
Okay.
couple of boosters on that. So yeah, I'm hoping it launches, it becomes a big thing. So I've also been following the 30th anniversary Gundam Wing
Oh, right.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's been fun to follow. What else? What else? Oh, my Necro died on Diablo 4 hardcore. Hardcore. That's a tough
Oh
pill to
gosh.
swallow. So anyone
What
that
level?
plays what? Oh,
What
dude,
level?
it got it all the way to 55. And look, I'm doing it without. People need to realize, right? I'm doing it without power leveling, right? So I'm not having a level 60, just clear out dungeons while I sit at the entrance and just get leveled up. I'm doing it properly. And Necros are probably the one of the hardest jobs to actually level. And the reason why I say that is because Diablo doesn't like you hanging back. So they introduced. You ever heard of the butcher mechanic they put
Hmm.
in that? Where they send out that big dude, the butcher, in the middle of a
Oh,
dungeon
that
raid.
I hate the butcher. Oh my
Yeah,
days.
dude, he's like
It's
chasing
fast
you.
as well. I
Yeah,
hate
yeah, and
it.
he doesn't fall for taunts or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, like after watching 2 seasons of solo leveling, it's got me back in the mood for Diablo. So yeah, I've been playing that. Um, I was going to ask you as well, actually.
Mhm.
Any good video games you played before we jump into today's topic?
To be honest, I've been playing Diablo 4 as well.
Yeah, I know.
I recently did Rogue, and I tried the Dance of Knives build.
Mm.
What a build! It's just like a blender. You just go throughout the level. Got to 60 so quickly.
Oh
which
damn.
is it's fun. It was very it's very fun,
Okay, I'm gonna ask you
especially when
this,
you
right?
get like gear and stuff. Go on.
Are you changing the difficulty of the levels, or are you just keeping it
Yeah,
on? Mhm.
no, no, I'm increasing it because level faster, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But the thing is, when you're rogue and you've got like 200% movement speed, it's kind of hard to get hit by things, if that makes sense.
Does the butcher keep up with you at 200% movement speed?
Nope.
I was gonna say because like the
Just
butcher,
keep moving around it. It's just you just spin around
dude,
until he does that AoE what do you call it? That stun move.
dude,
That's the
he
only
does
thing.
that thing where he can just pull you in, and then
That's what,
and he
yeah.
can one shot you. Sorry,
Just be
I'm
careful with
so
that.
hung up because I invested hours and hours. Um, you know, you get also those kind of you get those items that don't have a color. So
Oh, that yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, those special equipments. I had a couple
Mhm.
of those on him as well, and like I thought, oh
Oh
my god,
damn.
I was like, oh my god, I finally got some wicked armor that isn't like just mythic as well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm hurt. I'm really hurt about that. So now I'm just trying to grind away. Because like one of the missions that before we move on to today's topic, I know I'm digressing massively here, but when
Don't
you
let this one
sunk in
go.
when you sunk in hours and you just that's it, it's all gone down the pot.
Mhm.
Yeah, it hurts. So that's why I just want to get it off my chest. Really, the whole purpose of this podcast is basically me making myself feel better. So shut up and listen. Yeah, because like one of the things that really bugged me was I had all this specialist equipment, and he still managed to kind of just pull me in and one shot me, which was annoying. And
Mm.
yeah, it just hurt. It just hurt.
It happens.
And I was a pure minion build as well, so I wasn't designed to take hits. Um,
To be honest, I've done the same with Necromancer. No, I didn't have the special equipment like that, but I had like legendaries and stuff, and then yeah, you get a bit careless one time, and you're pretty much dead.
because you rely on
You
your
have to be
minions way
careful,
too
man.
much on Necro,
Yeah, but
way
they're the
too
most
much.
powerful thing. So it's like if they
Hmm.
can't taunt or kill fast enough, you're kind of you have to adjust your gameplay and try to survive.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, guys. We are relatively a brand new podcast, trying to survive in this
Mhm.
podcasty world where everyone has a podcast. But we would appreciate if you like and subscribe. So feel free to hit the subscribe button, leave us some comments, tell us what you think. If you think this is absolute bollocks and you think we can improve, tell us what it is. Tell us what you think we can improve on. Any
I agree with
feedback,
that.
yeah, any feedback will be an improvement. But let's jump in to the meat of the matter. Let's jump into our topic of
This will be interesting.
animes to video games. What animes do you think would make great video games? And let's
Mm.
start off with you, Mr. Adrian.
Okay, let's go into this. I think one anime that I did always rate, Berserk. I think that would make a good game if it
All
was
right.
done like
Let's
as
theory craft
a
this bad boy.
fun.
Why don't you give some context on what exactly Berserk is for those who are not initiated on the
Oh wow, I
great
should.
manga Berserk?
What is it? It's set in not medieval times roughly.
Yeah,
There's
it's kind of that
demons.
weird.
There's
It's kind of that weird.
yeah,
What do you call it? Fantasy, kind of Lord of the
mm,
Rings esque vibes, right?
yeah. And you're a guy with like a massive great sword, and he has to swing through many demons to avenge himself. His was it his group?
Yeah,
Because he got betrayed by his best friend or something like that.
yeah.
Is it best friend or leader? But they're both in it. But it's like
Yeah, it was.
yeah,
What do you call it? It was the dude with the white mask. Was it?
yeah. I forgot his name.
God, what
But
was
the
it?
clan leader, let's put it like that. And his best friend, he betrayed everyone to have power of a high level demon or something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
come on, man. The dude was tortured, and they forgot about him, and like they cut him up, and they
That they
left
were
him
trying to save him, but it's
emaciated
like
and broken.
they tried to save him, but like they obviously took long about it. That's the only thing.
Way too long. But
Yeah,
it was kind of on him, though, right? Like that's it,
yeah. It wasn't
Griffith.
like yeah. I hear Griffin. Yeah,
It was kind of on him
it is what
because
it is. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because like if he didn't sleep with the daughter of the king or whatever his name was, then he would never have got all that bad karma, right?
I can't remember the
Because
I can't remember the
remember,
full detail. That's the crazy thing.
yeah, I think because he
Was that
slept.
why he got?
Yeah. I think that's why. And then they put him in the prison, not told anyone, and they kind of just tortured him for a number of years.
Was it years?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it was. Oh
it was over.
shit.
It was over. I think when they thought they broke him out and they saved him, they didn't know the
Yeah.
damage they did to the level of torture he had to endure.
And they skinned him and all that, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh my days. Like, that was. I don't know how he survived for a year. That's nuts.
yeah. I'm just quickly catching up on it now. 2 years later, yeah, yeah. It was like for 2 years. Yeah, yeah. He slept with the princess, leading to his imprisonment and crippling torture for 1 year. So it was
That's
over a
crazy.
long period. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's
Oh
insane.
yeah, they messed up his limbs, everything.
No, they cut his tendons. I remember.
Oh,
I
bloody hell,
remember.
yeah, I remember that.
I remember they cut his tendons and
And
everything.
like
Like,
he's just like a body, isn't it? And they carried him around now, and they so yeah,
yeah,
it's either stay like that or become a
he had no muscle
yeah,
mass anymore. He lost all his
yeah,
muscle mass and it was just a broken shell. I mean, and then that's when he kind of uses that demon orb or egg, um, to
yeah. He made his choice.
yeah, reborn.
It's a tough one though. Either stay like that or betray everyone and become, you know, super powerful.
That was mental.
Which
It was
yeah, that's
absolutely
crazy.
mental. Yeah. So
Getting back to it. Sorry.
yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to give everyone a
So
bit of color on what it is.
yeah,
So go on.
yeah. Saying a bit of context added to that. So Berserk's there obviously when he betrayed everyone. Everyone died apart from Berserk himself. Wait, did one more survive? No, everyone died apart from Berserk. He put
Guts.
a mark on him, so demons always come for him.
His name is Guts,
So
right?
guts. I say
Yeah.
Berserk. Sorry, I'm lost today. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so he gets a mark put on him, and demons always find him wherever he is, and he has to keep fighting endless hordes until he gets to basically Griffith and stop him. I haven't got that far in the manga or anything like that yet,
Yeah.
so
But anyways,
I'm
right?
blurry about that bit.
All right. What kind of game are you thinking?
Figure if it's like a Dark Souls or God of War, like Ragnarok type of thing,
Hmm.
I think that would be. I think that would work well. If that makes sense.
I think so too. I was also thinking, right, in terms of theory crafting, if they had like
Mhm.
I think they've already done it with Berserk, but like the Dynasty Warriors esque horde mode,
That could
where
work.
you would have like hundreds of demons come at you,
Yeah,
and then you could have like some sort of advanced mechanic leveling system. Because I think with Guts, it's really with what point of the story you want to kind of tell. Because Berserk right
hmm
now is, I think it's on like ridiculous numbers of chapters, right? And I haven't even got to the meat of the matter. And with all the cool stuff, it tends to be towards the latter half of the manga where he gets the armor, he gets that
yeah,
kind of monolithic great sword, etc. And for those who are not aware, he wears armor that consumes him. So his armor eats him
yeah.
alive, basically. And that's the kind of penance he has to wear for wearing said armor. But
Like gives him like a lot of power and everything. So
yeah, there's a
yeah,
trade off,
crazy.
right? It's kind of like a spawn
Yeah,
in a way when he
it's like
has.
you fight until you die. Basically, it can
Yeah,
keep you going until you die, but it's like painful.
yeah.
So I remember right, like Spike shooting through like his broken bones to keep him together and stuff like that. And
Mm.
yeah, so crazy on.
Yeah, so like, and he's got obviously he's got that great sword, was it Dragon Slayer or whatever it's called, right? And he can only wield it. And then I think there's obviously he's got ranged attacks. I think he's got a cannon built into his arm, right? Because
Yeah,
he lost an arm, and
cannon. Yeah,
it's got some sort of prosthesis.
has he got crossbows or something like that? But
Yeah, he's got like multiple weapons,
I'm not
right?
sure if
But
that's before the cannon or they changed it or yeah.
he's got
I
stuff,
haven't watched
right?
it for ages.
Yeah, yeah. But he's got a wide array of weaponry. So I was thinking to myself,
Mm,
right? Wouldn't it be cool if they did something similar to like Dynasty Warriors esque / Demon Souls? So you kill the hordes, but then you get
mhm.
to the boss battle, and like the hordes of demons makes a ring around you, and then that is the
That'd be interesting.
and that would be the boss fight, right? So like they're like you fight the bosses like one on one, and then that determines like the outcome of the battle. Um, when you want to do this, like why don't you take us through some of the kind of thinking you would like to see in this game then?
The
So
thinking I was since I was thinking of more like God of War, Dark Souls, like the combat would be I think a bit more deliberate stuff, like just mindlessly button bashing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like parrying and heavy attacks. Heavy attacks would be good because you can probably cleave people and cut through hordes of, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I
So,
think that
and and you're thinking what's story driven?
is story driven. So like semi-open worldish, that which is I think that would suit the game instead of like
Hmm.
making it too open world and like, just get lost type of thing. But semi-open with a good story, I think that would work.
Yeah, I
I'm not
think
sure
I
how.
would you want to
I'm not
have
sure if
a
you need like stamina, but
would you have a map system? Because some dark games like for example Liza P,
mhm.
Wukong don't have maps, and I don't know if that's a turn on or a turn off for
Ooh,
some gamers. But would you have a map system in this?
I probably would, but it's not like a. I would say it's like a be all end all. It could be either or, but I probably would say a map because it's probably
Hmm.
iconic places in the anime or the manga which you want to see on the thing as well. Like, oh, I'm in this place, and
Yeah. And how would you
So I
think?
guess, yeah,
How would you how would you deal with builds and skills and stuff like that?
I'll probably put like a maybe a dual path type of thing. Like one you could put into stats like strength, dex, vitality, stuff like that.
Hmm.
And also has like weapon mastery, like you can level up your sword skills, unlock new skills, um, use different weapons and how you use them, like an AoE attack or cleaving,
Hmm.
um, straightforward attack type of thing.
Oh, nice.
Which I think that would work with you know with the type of berserk thing is. So it keeps it fresh and interesting while keeping the core weapons, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I was thinking maybe you do like a neo stance system because obviously with guts you're not going to
Mm,
have different weapon types, right? So, for
mhm.
example, he's not going to like use dual blades. He's not going to switch to short sword or anything like that, right? So he's always going to have the Dragon
Yeah.
Slayer. But with those particular games, then right, what you tend to do is then introduce something called stances, and stances would
Mm,
affect the type of style you would fight with said greatsword. And I think that's where you get your diversity in
that'd be interesting.
build and play, because obviously with a greatsword, you can actually do, like you said, AoE type attacks, or you can do straight
Mhm.
linear cleaving attacks. Maybe you have a defensive style, an offensive style, a middleweight style,
Yeah.
which means, like, if you're offensive, you move forward, but you can't retreat back enough. So if you want to take a step back, maybe it's only half a step because you're so
Mhm.
much
That makes
weight
sense.
moving forward. Whereas if
Yeah.
you play defensively, you can move back, but you can't overreach. So your attack is cut by half, right? Or maybe if you do a balanced
Yeah.
approach, you can move laterally more, but you can't move forward or back as well. So you can
Yeah, that would
sidestep and
work.
dodge. So maybe it's more like a stance type system
Mhm.
as opposed to weapons type. And then how would you envision skills and that stuff to work?
Ooh, that's a tough one because it's probably different. I guess within that type of stance where you can unlock certain trees within that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like if you do like a defensive build, it could be like this one path that goes counter attacking, one part just like you
Mm.
can take a lot of hits, but your range is short because like using the hilt of the blade or the flat part of the blade or something like that,
Yeah,
which is
I was thinking the
yeah.
exact same. I was thinking the exact same. Maybe then you can introduce kind of build variety that way. So, for
Mhm.
example, you get abilities. Would you allow them to switch stances on the fly during combat?
Yeah, you should be able to because you can do that in normal combat if that makes sense. So I'm guessing well, you can do that in other games as well. You can just shoot at the switch stance whenever, or
I
maybe like
think,
a delay penalty or something.
yeah,
Like it takes like maybe a couple of seconds between each one. You have to
mm,
think about it,
yeah, I was thinking the
or a
same.
second, not like a couple.
I was thinking the same because maybe that's the weakness of how you would figure out how to defeat a boss. So rather
Yeah.
than you would like invest into one particular path, maybe you can beat all the bosses. Maybe that could be a way. But I was thinking also skill point allocations as well, right? So not only do you
Hmm.
unlock a skill tree, but you have like the stat allocation points that you would do in like any sort of Dark Souls game, right? Whether you put that
Yeah.
straight into a strength build, whether you put that into a defensive build or a dexterity build, maybe those points, depending on your proficiency in stats, unlock the skills. So, say for example, right,
That could work.
you have a defensive, you put everything into vitality. Vitality
Hmm.
increases HP and your base defense, right?
Yeah.
And you get that up to a certain proficiency level, say like a B or a C or something like that, right? That unlocks those defensive skills. So that way,
Okay. So you mean,
so
yeah.
so so that way, rather than saying, okay, I want to invest into this skill, to even use the skill, you have to think about where you want to invest your stat points, and then that way you can get defensive buffs, etc. Would you be
Mm.
would you build it in a way where if you go to a rest point, it respawns all the enemies? Because that's what Souls
Oh, that's a
games are
good
like,
point.
right? So almost Souls games, like even Jedi Survivor, I would classify as a Souls game.
You know, based on the type of anime it is or manga it is, yeah, I probably would.
Yeah,
Because the demons always keep coming for him anyway. So it's like,
yeah, it's relentless, right?
why
Hmm.
why change it?
So would
But
you?
also maybe
Yeah.
maybe introduce like a unique system as well, say for certain maybe some certain boss fights or mini boss fights. Um, what do you think of like having like a you get buffs from it, but like you get mental scars or something like that. So the more you fight non-stop, the more like hallucinations you get mid battle or something like that, and it changes how you have to fight and act, type of thing. Since it's like he's
Oh, I
under a lot
like
of trauma.
that. So
So
basically, adjust the difficulty scaling based off how easy you found the last boss. So for
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so for example, if you had like a traumatic experience, you get some sort of buff.
Yeah, but then you get like a mental, like a negative thing, like you see more hallucinations of enemies and stuff like that. So
Oh,
things
maybe
like that. Just
maybe
like
the things you're weak at is what the game throws at you. So say for example, like you said, like you take attacks, you're not parrying enough or something along those lines, right? So
mhm,
then your weakness becomes parry, therefore you can only, like, the game starts throwing parrying attacks more frequent at you.
that'd be interesting, like adaptive AI type of thing.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. Because then
That'd be interesting. Keep the game fresh.
you could procedurally generate like basic attack patterns. Because what it is
Hmm.
like you can't change the enemy, right? But if you give them a variety of moves that they can perform, right? Then you can change the dynamics or the characteristics of how that enemy unit would fight. So say for example, it's analyzed the data that you've thrown at it, and it goes, all right, this guy
Yeah,
is crap at parrying, right? The every unit has a parry attack. It just uses it more frequently, which means
yeah,
that you will have to adapt to learn to use it, or come up with a way where you don't get in a situation where you can't parry the attack, right? So that's interesting.
yeah.
I
That'd be
like
good.
ideas
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
So
and
yeah,
well,
that I
that
think it could be a good game if it's built like that.
mm. And also I was thinking, right? So how do you keep the? Because like one of the things about Souls games, right, is that the reason why they give you a wide variety of weapons is that you can keep playing the game, but you can try out new things. How would you keep
Mhm.
this game's freshness? Because I
Cool.
got a few ideas of
That's
how I'll do it.
that's an interesting one. I thought like the maybe the way I've said before that could help keep the freshness, but when you put it like that, because you got a variety of weapons, maybe I guess you can do different play styles through each time, but
I was
still
thinking,
using the
why
same
why
type of
don't we have
weapons.
like
But
a junction system on the weapon, right? So as well
mhm,
as we have the person's growth, maybe the weapons themselves have growth as well. So rather than saying, okay, this sword can you can do like this skill with the sword, which is like say a massive sweeping arch.
mhm.
Maybe the weapons can grow as well, where you can imbue it with different elements. So, for example,
Okay,
a
yeah,
poison build, or a MP build, or something that absorbs
a
mana.
fire build. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, like or
yeah,
something that
I get that. Yeah.
absorbs mana or something, and then you can junction it with like like in Diablo you have the dual system as well.
Mhm.
Maybe you can rebuild the weapon so you can change the hilt. You can customize it a bit. So the Dragon Slayer doesn't
Yeah.
have to just be the Dragon Slayer. You can get change the bandages to like some sort of like imbued bandage. The material density, the hilt, you can change it. You can junction it with arcana or something like that,
Oh, I get
like
you mean. So you
dark
can change
arts.
like so it can change like the stats of the weapon as well. Like you can have a faster attack speed but lower attack,
Yeah,
or heavier
yeah,
attack
because
or
then
at a slower speed. Yeah, that
but
makes
then
sense.
because then that feeds into the whole concept of of the build mechanics that we talked about earlier, right? So
Hmm.
when you have like the build of like the build mechanics of the stances, so the weapon complements the stance,
Yeah,
so you can lean more heavily into that stance and actually play well with it.
a good idea. Good idea. But I
Okay, cool.
think that's it for my one. So what's your first one?
Actually, it's just a few minutes on the
Oh,
Berserk
got
one
more.
because like
Go on, go on.
I want to kind of theory craft it further. So we've already kind of
Hmm.
painted the picture, Dark Worlds esque, different stances, junctioning system for the weapons, to kind
Hmm.
of with skill set, skill trees or specific skills trees, and then obviously story driven narrative. Which is going to be kind of rich in boss battles, very Dark
Hmm.
Souls esque, um, and then obviously you would have that kind of traversal. I was thinking maybe the scale of the world. How big do you envision the world? Do you say I would envision it being very akin to Elden Ring, because Elden
Or
Ring's you could even go on horse mount, right, or that goat
yeah.
thing that you ride. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool in Berserk you had that kind of weird those kind of weird encounters where you will see a dragon all of a sudden, like
Hmm. Yeah.
it doesn't have to be linear. It could be exploration linear, so you can meet a monster or a demon that's levels above you and still have those
Hmm.
kind of challenging battles. And I was thinking to myself, well, actually Elden Ring is kind of like the world we're describing here, um for it. So yeah, that I would imagine it to be like that, less God of War-ish, because God of War is very kind of linear level driven.
Well, it's semi-open world, which I liked. Which you
Oh
still got
yeah,
the story there, but you can
in
explore other
Ragnarok,
things.
yeah, in Ragnarok it was
Yeah.
kind of open. Yeah, I see what you mean.
So
Um,
if it's like that, I think that'll be the perfect balance.
hmm. And what
It's
do you
not
think?
like just
What do you think of
run into the world.
traversal mechanics?
That's interesting. So I know they use horses in the manga anyway, so you probably can get something like that, or probably upgrade mounts and stuff like that. But yeah, you
Hmm.
can. There's always to do. You can always do that.
Hmm.
Maybe quick travel at some point as well. If you unlock certain areas, you can travel to a certain area to make it a bit easier for um, the game overall. Because if it's big enough, you need quick travel instead of just riding a mount to somewhere.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
think that
okay.
will work out.
Hmm. All right. Okay. Actually, I think we can conclude on that. I think that's a winner.
Okay.
I think it's crazy we've not seen a Souls like Berserk game. I think there was a Berserk game. Was it Band of the Hawks on the PS2? I think I got it. Let me see. Band of the
Put it on.
Hawk Berserk.
Oh, there is. Yeah, Band of the Hawk.
Yeah. What kind of game was it? It's a Musu game. Ah, it's the Dynasty Warriors Koei Tepco. I
Oh,
wonder.
okay.
I'm pretty sure I played it, and I was thinking to myself, wait, but it didn't really leave an impression on me. By the way,
It
yeah,
didn't.
yeah. I mean, because I would have remembered it a lot more vividly, but I don't think I did.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So
On
like,
Steam, I think it's 3 out of 10.
yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good experience.
I see why I didn't leave a mark.
Uh,
Okay, fair enough.
yeah, yeah. Let's just slowly move away. Um, yeah. Cool. All right.
Okay,
So,
what's yours?
all right. So, one of the ones I was like, so there was a an anime I used to watch, and I think it's on Netflix.
Mhm.
It was a basketball one. What's it called? Kuroko no
Oh,
Basket.
yeah.
Yeah,
What an anime.
yeah. And I was thinking, right, why haven't we seen like an no, I wouldn't say like an NBA Jam esque, but like FIFA Street Mode meets basketball kind of esque type uh,
Oh,
game.
they had one for what was it? They had one for basketball as well.
Free v
Is it
free,
NBA Street?
free v
Is it
free.
NBA Street or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
something like that.
but I think there's also free versus free. No,
Oh, yeah, that one on the PS4, 5. It was on 5 as well, but 4.
but I was thinking, right? Why
That was a
don't
good one.
yeah? But I was thinking though, why don't we have a proper basketball game where you lean into the characters of the anime, have their
Mhm,
abilities to build your own dream team? Because I thought the best part. So for those who are not aware, there's a really cool basketball anime called Kuroko no Basket, which is about 5 legendary players who go their separate way, and they basically go to different schools and form their own kind of teams. And all these guys had their own kind of unique abilities. For example, one had the ability to do kind of what was it called, the ghost pass or phantom pass or whatever. He had the ability to be stealth on the pitch, and no one can really pick him up. And they
oh,
call
yeah.
him the kind of phantom six player. Then you had someone who
Mhm,
was really good at like power forwards, like being able to dunk the ball. Then there was someone that had a really great, like, sweet 3 point shot. Um, so basically was able to kind of do these kind of fadeaway shots. Um, and the
we could bang it from everywhere.
yeah, yeah,
That's the
yeah,
thing, you hit it from full court.
yeah, and what it was is also that people had the ability to kind of like they were normal people, but have just had very kind of specific set of skills to do something on the court.
Mhm,
And what it was, the anime was about was um, the team that lost all its star players is kind of fading away into existence until a transfer student comes in from the States. Like, he's like a Japanese dude, but he was like spent some time in the States. He transfers in, I think. And anyways, right, they start their own basketball team. One of the Phantom sixth player from the legendary team slowly shows his skill. And basically, he has the ability to do these weird passes. Like, he can like do this.
yeah.
I like the little kind of fistball he does, and it just says,
Oh, like a Hadouken type
yeah,
of thing.
yeah, like yeah, it was
Yeah,
mental. And they could do alley oops and all this other stuff. But as the anime gets better and better, and the schools kind of compete, and they win their kind of tournament, it gets into the international stage, and that's where they realize there's more powerful kind of schools out there with their own teams and professionals. And I was thinking, well, the game pitch for this one, right, is quite simple. Like a sports action JRPG uh,
mm,
basketball game. So you would assemble your kind of, like, I was thinking, right, you could do story mode. So story mode will
yeah,
go through the kind of anime stages of it, right? And the story mode is basically your tutorial. And that's the way I would like to kind of frame it, because it will teach
yeah.
you how to build your team dynamics. So, like in FIFA, you have that synergy stat.
Chemistry, yeah,
Yeah, chemistry. Chemistry is also a thing in this, right? So when you build your team, you would have to kind of forge their chemistry. So out of the court, you get them to do training exercises so you can train their stats, right? Each of them will be able to play with their, say, certain amount of ability. So obviously you have like a stat like speed, stamina, strength,
yeah.
durability, etc., etc., etc. Right? And I was thinking, right, that's one aspect of it. So that's how they perform on the pitch. But then it's the chemistry part, right? So how accurate are the passes from one member to another? So you build up that chemistry. So less chances of the ball being intercepted if their chemistry stat
Mhm.
is high, and you train that off the pitch through thinking. Because have you ever played Digimon World?
No, I haven't.
So outside of Digimon World, when you train a Digimon, it's not just through battle itself. You put them into these little training camps. So you would say,
Mhm.
all right, go to the strength training bit, and you would partner it up with another Digimon, and they would like punch a bag, and they'll come back with like +10 strength or something like that.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So I was thinking
Yeah,
maybe we do that, like in like the boxing game we played recently, Undisputed, where you got them to
undisputed, yeah.
train in a particular kind of stat.
Yeah,
That's what we get them to do in between games. And the pitch is here. You build your own team, so you learn the story for the story mode. that is the tutorial. So you learn all that,
Mhm.
and then the actual you control the team like a like NBA 2025. You know what I mean? Like you would play it like 2K. So you would like
Yeah.
control your team, but each member has its own abilities. So it's up to you to decide how you utilize those abilities. So you could use the phantom pass, you could do the power drive forward. It would have, um, any kind of slam dunk would be kind of like a what you would describe as an ultra combo finisher in like in a Dragon Ball game, like in like what do you call it? Dragon Ball Fighter Z. You know, when you do like
Yeah.
a world ender, like it would be kind of like that, highly stylized, show cutscenes when you do the dunks. It would be like, oh, the whole background's exploding, um, you know, and
Just like anime
yeah,
dramatic effects,
yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and you could do all of that. Each character will have an ability tree, right? So no two
Mhm,
uh characters on your team, depending how you train them, will be the same. I might train my Kuriko to be different from your one, right? So my Kuriko guy might just
mhm,
have the ability to set up alley oops because that's my play style, and I set it up for one particular character to carry the team forward, right? You might
mhm.
do it for fast intercepts. You know what I mean? Like you might use him completely different. So that's the
Yeah.
thinking behind that is even though they're the same character, the builds will be radically different depending on what stat points you allocate them to. Each character will have a skill tree, right? And you can out the skill tree, you can only carry only a certain number of abilities into the game. So you can't give it every ability under the sun, but you can only
Okay,
do like
that
a
makes sense.
handful, right? So they have a
I was about to
specific
ask, yeah,
because
how to balance. How would you balance the game? Yeah.
yeah, because then that way, right? You cater it towards a specific play style that you go forward with, right? So that's the way I would do that part of it. Now, the real kind of challenge here, the real meat of the game is the multiplayer. So the multiplayer will do like seasons, right? And you would play
Mhm.
against other teams, and your team will do this. But I want to introduce an injury mechanic, as in you could actually build a team,
Oh,
right? And your
yeah, go on.
team just all it does is drain stamina and pick off easy points. They're not necessarily skilled. So, like, you could do like there's going to be an injury stat where if a player doesn't recover enough stamina, they can't meet the threshold of playing the next game. So you have to rely on reserves and backups or an alternative
Okay, I see what you mean.
strategy or
Yeah, yeah.
play style, right? So that's the idea behind that. So that's the bit I'm really like thinking, oh great, you could do this, 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 this. So the tournament thing, because I was thinking, right, there's no reason why this game concept can't be mainstream. Like like how you had FIFA tournaments, etc. There's no reason why.
Mhm.
Un, un,
I'm just thinking, how would you not let the game get stale if everyone's got like the same like players, if you know what I mean?
oh, DLC,
So you got a certain
DLC,
amount of
DLC,
anime.
DLC, DLC.
You'll see.
Yeah, so you introduce new characters, right? That you
Yeah,
because
go on.
because think about it, because it's a team-based game, your squad dynamics change when you introduce one character, right?
Mhm.
So if you want to, it's like saying, right, do you build a team around Ronaldo or do you make Ronaldo as part of your team?
Okay.
Just say because like
Yeah.
that's Portugal in a nutshell, right?
Well, yeah, yeah, they're gonna change sooner because he's getting old.
Yeah, yeah, but
I'm
you
thinking
know what
like,
I mean though. Like when you
yeah,
when
yeah,
you when you have like a player like Ronaldo, right? Do you build a team around him, or
to play to his strengths. Yeah.
or do you put Ronaldo in a team that kind of plays towards everyone? Like what do you do? Because like I think that's what it comes
I
down
get
to.
that.
Because at the end of the day, the player, you are not a character in the game. You're the manager of a team. That's what it comes down to,
Mhm.
right? So it's kind of perspective on what you put the emphasis on in these kind of games. And mine is normally always going to fall under the strategy in the world build. Sorry, the strategy and the team management aspect. Because remember, you're responsible not just for one player, right? You're responsible for your
Mhm.
team's performance, and that's what I was thinking. Well, that is basically, if you put the emphasis on that, that's what gives it the strategic elements of it. The gameplay is just a byproduct.
Just thinking because if you know you got like how many legendary 6 legendary players?
Yeah.
So you got like the main characters, right? Can you get them all into one team, or is it like one per team or something
You
like that?
could get them into one team, right? But because you're limiting the amount of abilities they can bring onto the court, right? So say for example, everyone's only allowed
Hmm.
to have 2 special moves. They might not synergize. If you haven't trained them together in the off-season training mechanic where their
Hmm.
synergy is not at a good level, then yeah, that's why I wanted to introduce synergy or chemistry.
Okay.
Because if the chemistry stat is rubbish, we can say, all right, 50% of the passes don't make it.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. But another that's an interesting little
Yeah.
throw in there. Since you got like the enemy and the leveling up element, could you build your own player like from scratch
I wouldn't want
on
to.
like an online thing?
I wouldn't.
You don't want to do it?
Nah, nah. Problem is, right, when you start
Okay.
introducing, because if you look at Street Fighter 6, where you could build your
Hmm.
own character, right, you can completely break that game. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you, because like the problem is, right, when you because unknown variables are the most difficult things to balance in a game that requires balance. So the only reason this concept will work is because you've got known variables and they can only perform within the
Okay.
limits of the skill sets, because you can pretty much test out the permutations and what that character can do within the scope of the game. When you start giving kind of creative freedoms for it and you start giving them skill sets outside the box, how are you going to cater that and how are you going to preserve the balance of the game? And that's where things become a bit dicey.
Ooh, interesting. So you couldn't like obviously you got like the two skill sets at most, the skill
Look, we you could
special moves at most.
you give them a system where they can customize uniqueness of the character by looks. That's the max. That's like, if I was designing a game like that, that's the max I'll give it. I would not give them the ability, because like, how would you test it? So if I gave you the ability to create
Mm.
your own characters, allocate your own stats, create your own move sets, etc., right? How could I ensure fair play in the game system that is going to be scalable, that you're going to stay within the bounds of it? Because then it's just going to get ridiculous. That just means I have to introduce AI into I have to introduce a hardness mode that can compete with it, and it's just going to become unscalable.
I get it. But you could also do it like, oh, what's that football game? Is it rematch?
Yeah.
It looks like FIFA Street, but like on a bit of a wilder scale. Well, no, it look
Yeah.
like the one that FIFA Street 1 and 2.
Yeah, but the
Would it
reason,
be like that? Like, do
the reason, no, I want them to still be able to control all of
doesn't it
the
be like a whole
character.
game?
Yeah,
Okay, I mean,
because
okay.
the reason why rematch is a great concept, by the way, but it but the problem is rematch doesn't work if it's not on mass. And what I mean is that if you
Mm.
do not have other players playing the other characters on your team, the game doesn't work.
Well, fair enough.
Because you remember, you only control one character out of the 3 on your team, right? If you do not have another 5 people, then you can't have a game. And that increases the barrier of entry of making that game successful.
Okay. Well, it could be like, oh, what's it? FIFA Street when it came out again on I think it was PS3 at the time. It's a more realistic version. You still build your team, and but like you keep saying, you got different game modes. You got like 3 versus 3, 5 versus
Hmm.
5, or like a full game or half
Yeah.
a call, or stuff like that. So yeah, different game modes could keep it fresh as well. Like you do different things and
Oh
can
yeah,
be
look,
you can also do leagues as well.
the
Yeah.
game modes could be cool. Like the custom rules could be, you could have like some crazy custom rules. You could do like a
Hmm.
street one, like you can where you can you can bounce it off the walls and stuff. You could do no fouls. You know what I mean? Or you could do where you could just
That'd be
like
crazy.
injure players and stuff. Look,
Yeah.
I don't want to put limitations on it, but you know what I'm trying to say is like there has to be like there has to be a kind of give and take. You can't just make it all of
Mhm.
one thing or another. But I want to preserve the kind of core game loop, and the core game loop is very kind of JRPG-ish, very kind of team management-ish, and
Mhm.
that. But I want it to be hyper stylized, like a anime. So like when you see like a fight scene in Hero No Academia, where they like the whole
Yeah.
world's exploding, something like that, and you just take core concepts from the anime itself, right, and kind of implement that. So when you do a super dunk or whatever, it plays a small little clip. Um, yeah, so that's my idea, and yeah,
Yeah.
would you
I got
think?
one more question about that.
Yeah.
You know, what was it called? The zone. When they get into the zone, how would you manage that? How do you implement that into the whole gameplay?
Oh, so the whole the zone thing will be a stat boost, right?
Yeah,
So you know, like how they did Gundam. Have you ever played Gundam Breaker or any of the Gundam games?
I
The two.
played some of the Gundam games.
So you know when you do the hyper mode and they got that kind of weird after effect. So
Hmm.
that's how I would do in the zone moments. So you get a stat boost, your character will start glowing, and then they will leave
Yeah.
after images on the court to show that they are moving at a faster
Oh, in
speed.
that mode.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then it's down to the player to activate their mode, right? The opposing player to activate their mode to counter it. Because it's kind of that moment like in Street Fighter where he's just used his super special, should I use mine?
Yeah. Okay. But how would you build a the gauge up to get to that?
Oh, it
Um.
would be
Yeah.
over successful passes, moves. Because like for example, if you use their abilities over and over again, or you could do a catch up system. This part I haven't really thought about, but you could do a catch up system.
Yeah.
So the more points you're down by, the more likely the opposing team will have that mode available to them to then activate and
Okay.
use catch
So
up.
it would build faster for the opposing. Okay, that
Oh
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
So what do you think of that then? So I put a lot of thought into this one because like I thought I really like the anime. I thought it was like I like the fact that
Yeah.
everyone had their own abilities. I thought it was just perfect for a video game. So I just think to myself, we don't see enough of sports RPG-ish kind of video games.
Hmm. One more. Wait. One more question. This is like based school based. You got to do extracurricular stuff.
No,
Would
no,
you
no,
include
no,
that
no,
as
no,
well? Like they
no,
go to
no,
no, no,
no, no,
the
no.
straight. Okay, just straight for
No, no, no,
basketball.
no. We're not doing
Straight
persona.
basketball.
That's
Okay.
that's the thing that annoys me. Like you, I know where you're going. I know where you're going. You're going to straight
Yeah,
ask me,
yeah. Okay.
are we going to do the persona thing? No, we're not going to do the persona thing. All right, because I hate that persona mechanic. It makes no freaking sense. I hate the fact you're making me go to high school again. All right. No, no, like, why? Why do I want to live a second life of going to a school in a different country this time, not even the language or the concepts I care about? Look, I couldn't give a damn. No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Okay, straight basketball. Just straight to the game. We're not messing
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, what,
Oh,
like,
yeah. Okay, fair enough.
what are you adding to that? Like, you're sending them to class for what? What purpose?
I'm saying like extra. They go to the shops or hang out at something and build chemistry that way. Or
No,
I don't know.
no, no.
No, fair enough. All right, cool, cool, cool. Just I was just
Just have
asking.
cutscenes to
Don't
do
shoot
that.
me.
Have when their chemistry reaches a level, you can trigger a moment,
Mm.
and they can then just have a cutscene and then be done with it. No one gives a look.
That's it.
Like, remember, I said the story bit is more like a tutorial for the actual core components of the game. Like people want to skip through that. No one gives a damn. No one wants to go into a
Okay, fair enough.
lesson. Yeah, damn, you gave me a heart
Okay,
attack with that
all right, okay, all right.
stupidity. Sorry.
I'm just asking.
All right.
It's a JRPG. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay, your next one, please.
My next one. So-
Fucking stupid.
but my next one is I say Hunter x Hunter.
Ooh, Hunter x Hunter's a good one. Is that
I
the
was thinking
dude?
if they did it
That's
like
dude with the hair that goes up, right?
yeah, yeah. If you
And
do something like that, but as a you probably have two modes, like a story mode and like a RPG mode where you make your own hunter,
oh,
if that makes sense. So you got a campaign mode and a yes and a
do you want to give us?
MMO
Do you want
type
to
of
give
mode.
us? Do you want to give us a high level of what Hunter x Hunter is for the uninitiated?
Okay. Basically a young boy, gone freezes or something like that. He wants to be a licensed hunter. The hunters are people that can officially kill and do certain hunts and you get money for it and you know clout for it and stuff like that. The bounty hunters, treasure
So
seekers, all that stuff.
it's not like a secret profession, is it?
Nah, it's just like it's a sort of profession, but obviously it's dangerous and you're going to kill stuff, but obviously it can kill you back. Um, Gon makes friends along the way. Obviously, like Killua, he's from like an assassin clan or something like that. You got Kurapika, he's on his own revenge tip and he's got like certain powers. Um, yeah, just he has to go through a whole world of different things. They go to different areas, and he just learns to be a hunter, gets his license, and they go on adventures basically
Nice.
to either level up or just to discover stuff. And it gets pretty interesting because they got like a whole Nen system, so like their power system basically. And I think there's 6 different elements,
Hmm.
and you can be proficient in certain areas, and they do certain things and stuff like that. Which is why I think it'd be good on like a RPG type of element. So in the campaign mode, you can build it a certain way to have a certain play style. In the MMO side, you could obviously build your player, but how you want to play your player, and do certain elements like that.
Nice.
I was thinking that gameplay could be like maybe either Final Fantasy like 15-ish, something like that, or
Hmm.
7 remake, or I don't, would Monster Hunter World make sense? That'd probably be more
I
um
think Monster Hunter World's more
Final
hub.
Fantasy 15. Like,
Yeah, because I was gonna say Monster Hunter World
yeah,
is more hub based.
I'll say Final Fantasy 15 should be good enough.
Yeah,
So you can do the melee
I think
combat, the
that's yeah.
range combat, and yeah, you can do arenas. You can do a bit of open world as well because like it's quite the immersive world in the anime, so you might as well have it open world
Hmm.
and you can go to different areas, do different missions, and
Okay, so
stuff like that.
how so in the story mode you build your own hunter. How does that work?
Oh, and the story mode, the campaign mode is
Yeah.
like you probably could do Gon as the main guy, and you can go through different adventures. Like I don't know, remember like Dragon Ball. What's the latest Dragon Ball game? And you got different characters. You can do their basically their arcs. You can go through it that way.
Oh wait. Are you talking about the
That's
Dragon
like
Ball? Because like Dragon Ball's got a number of games. Are you talking about Dragon Ball Kakarot or
Sparking Zero. So
Sparking Zero?
Sparking Zero. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
you got the
do you,
different campaigns.
so when you create your character, are you creating a class system for it, or like how's that work?
Yeah, on the MMO side, you create your class. You got the 6 elements.
Hmm.
So you create your character and you basically build into each element that you want. Obviously, if you specialize in one, you'll get like specialized skills. But I think you can like make it a bit more varied if you want. So you can have certain skills like support skills and attacking skills, and so you got freedom to build how you want in the MMO side. So yeah, it'd be something like that.
Okay, and how does it kind of hang together then? So what does story mode net you, and where does
Story mode's like you obviously get the feel of the game, and you also get to go through each person's campaign, how they see the
hmm,
story from their side. Like Gon is the main story. Obviously it through the um, anime and the manga. You see his story. Like you
hmm,
see like Killua's story throughout the game. How he sees it from his perspective. How to go back home and train and um, stuff like that. You get to see Kurapika's. I'm probably saying his name wrong.
hmm.
But you can go through his story as well because he's got like quite an interesting story because he's like after revenge after the what's the spider people called? That assassin group. He's after all of them, so you can see how you can do boss fights with them and stuff like that. So you got all that stuff on the story side,
Hmm.
and you can obviously build around how you want to play with their stuff, with their and then abilities.
That's pretty cool. I like the idea of that. Um, how how do you envision the leveling up experience working? So is there like hunter ranks where you can do a hunter rank system?
I think there'll be two. So more prestige you do, like the more missions you do, so if they get prestige, you unlock certain rewards. That'd be good for like the rank system, but for
I
actual
mean,
ability system,
but the bosses get
uh,
harder and harder.
yeah, yeah. So it'd be like what was it? The ants. is it the ants arc? So obviously be facing the stronger ants and stuff like that. So it'd be like hard bosses. I'm not sure if you'll do like a mode. I'm not sure do a co-op thing or something like that if you wanted to. But yeah, the bosses will be harder the higher you go up. It's like the higher rank you get, the more harder missions you unlock, and that would fit into it and make sense. So I
Nice.
think yeah, that would work.
So how would you how does gear and how does that work? How does gear work in general?
It probably could be. I was thinking about it. It could be like just a general MMO thing.
Hmm.
Either craft it or find it or buy it from a shop, and it'd be different things like or drops from a mission or something like that. Drops
Hmm.
from enemies.
Does that mean that you have
So
to
there's
have a craft
different
system
ways to
then?
do it. I'm still debating about that because craft it adds an element to the game, but would it overcomplicate it? Would it
That's it. That's what I think.
make it
So it
unnecessary?
depends.
That's the
It
thing.
depends on how simplified
Yeah,
you make the craft system, right? Because I think
might be.
some
Yeah.
animes, right? They explain the craft system very simply. As in, if
Hmm.
you look at Solo Leveling, when you create the elixir of life, all he did was grab 3 items and he just like wished it and it became that item. So if you simplify the
Yeah.
craft system like that, like just like 2 items,
Like yeah.
bam, item, and then there's a percentage of chance failure, then maybe that.
Yeah, that could work. That would make sense. Like simplified craft. Yeah, that would make sense. You probably could put that in thing. You do bosses or mini bosses and get it drops with certain equipment.
Because
Yeah,
what I want, the
yeah, that
reason
could
why I
work.
say you want the failure, right, is because in the failure you lose the item, which means you have to fight the boss again to get more items.
Ooh, that could be. That's a bit of a tricky one though. But
Because I'm thinking from a replayability side
yeah,
of it, right?
yeah, I get what you're saying, but like sometimes I don't know. Do you want that type of drama in your life?
Um,
Like imagine you did all that work and then yeah, you lose the main one of the 3 items or
yeah,
whatever.
but then it means that a very small population of people, right, in the game will only have that item because it's
Mhm.
so difficult to craft. So then
I enjoy it.
that kind of makes certain builds notorious, and people would aspire to try and get that build again.
That could work.
Because remember, like in Final Fantasy
Yeah,
11,
some
when you
that's
had like you had the relic weapons.
oh yeah. Yeah, you could feel yeah.
Yeah,
I
and you needed
remember building things and yeah, my god.
yeah,
Yeah.
and when those
You
crafts
lose the
when
item, you're like, fuck's sake.
but it kind of proved how difficult they were,
Yeah.
and it puts value on it, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, that could yeah. Yeah, yeah. That could work in that game. So
Oh,
yeah,
I've
yeah.
got a good question for you.
Hmm, go on.
Is there a hardcore mode? Would you introduce a hardcore mode?
Into Hunter.
Just
There
saying.
could be with the way yeah, because people die in Hunter x Hunter as well. So it could
It fits the world though, doesn't it?
it does. It does. Because if you die, you could you know that could work.
Because I just thought to myself, right?
Mm,
Not even Diablo's that shitty, because at least with Diablo they don't introduce the option of failing crafts because you single handedly introduced the ability to fail at crafting items, fighting the boss, losing your life, and then losing your character again.
that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Oh, but
Can
that
you-
could make people flip their
but
tables and stuff. You know what I mean?
but
Just
I just thought to
wow.
myself, right? That's such an impossible game, but I think there is enough of a sick enough community to take up that challenge.
It'd be more like the principle of it at some point, isn't it? Like I've done this, I'm gonna do it again. I'm
Well,
gonna
I
make sure
mean,
I get
look,
this item.
World of Warcraft has a hardcore server as well, and I don't know about because I haven't played WoW in ages. Let's see. Can you fail crafts? Can you lose? Can you fail crafting in WoW? And lose material. Oh, you can't lose the sense of okay, no, it doesn't work like that. But I'm introducing
No,
that
fair
idea.
enough.
Okay, cool. No, I like the concept. I love it. I love it. I love where this is going.
But one more thing I would
Yep.
add as well into the RPG side, probably PvP,
Yeah.
which I think that would be interesting. What builds stand up against which, and maybe a little ranking system here and there, who's the world number one and stuff like that. That could spice things up a little bit,
Do you know
as
what?
well as PvE, obviously.
I'm not sure if Hunter x Hunter's the game to do this, but there was a game idea that I was toying with, right? And it
Hmm.
requires ridiculous amount of money backing to do it. But I'm sure one day someone will be out there to do it. Imagine this, an actual
Hmm.
Sword Art Online um, uh, type scenario. I'm not saying Sword Art Online, but Sword Art Online type scenario. You get
Hmm.
30,000 players into a server or whatever, like 5,000 players. It doesn't have to be that much, right? It's hardcore mode, right?
Hmm.
Every, let's just say every month, players with levels 1 to 10 are instantly killed, wiped out. But the population never grows because you start off with, say, 5,000 players. Every
Yeah.
time, every month, 1 to 10 will disappear, then 10 to 20 will disappear. And that keeps people moving upwards, right? And then
Hmm.
whoever's the last one standing wins $100,000 at the end of it. Last one standing.
Oh,
And you
you see
are
it.
allowed, and you're allowed PvP, and you can kill
Hmm.
other players. And it's a pure MMO.
That would
So,
be bad.
you still have to do the MMO stuff, groups,
Hmm.
guilds, all of it. But it's kind of like
So
but it's like real life Sword Art Online.
would it be like
Okay, we're totally
what was that
digressing from
game?
Hunter
The
x Hunter.
Division? Oh no, no, wait. I'm like this concept real quick. Is it like the Division where you can group up and also portray at the same time as well?
Yeah, yeah,
Is it like
exactly
that?
like that. So you can
Oh,
kill within your own party because remember that there was a scene in like for guys. I've been watching a lot of solo leveling. There was that guild that took like the rookies into a cave, like
oh yeah,
and they were
yeah, yeah.
about to kind of murk them for the armor, right? It's
Hmm.
kind of like that, but I want to know because like for me, it's a kind of like a twofold experiment. It's a social experiment to test human nature,
Hmm.
but then it's also to test skill, right? Who are the stragglers? Who are the hard workers? Who are the leaders amongst men?
Hmm.
And I'm just curious, right? You run it for as long as you run it till there's only one player remaining.
That'll be no. What's that guy? Is it Mr. Beast? He probably could pull something off like this.
I know, but
Is it that? Is that his name?
yeah, Mr.
That'd be
Beast.
crazy to do though.
Yeah, but
Imagine
like,
watching something like that.
imagine you have like
Not even like
a thousand of the most
no,
hardcore
you
MMO
know.
players, right? All on one server, and then you programmatically wipe out for the ones that are not moving up, trying to stay safe. You can't. You have to keep progressing. You have to keep progressing. And if you hit the limit of saying, well, no one's reached level 70, or they say there's only
Mhm.
um, like a limit, you keep it there. And then you say, all right, boys, there's only 10 of you left. Last one standing. Whatever that means.
That could
Whether you
work.
go straight
But
after another player and start hunting them down.
the only thing is, I would instead of doing a monthly, I'll probably do it weekly.
Hmm.
So they have to. So there's like a bit of urgency that they
Oh
can't
yeah,
take the
yeah.
whole month
Look,
to.
the time scale for
That's like
this, right? Like forget the time scale. We'll change it to daily if we need to. But I think
imagine that.
I think
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
I want to see it because then you could just log like anyone can follow it like watching a real live stream, right? Oh, what's so and
Mhm.
so up to? Is he still alive? We don't know. Who killed him? I don't know. But it could have been this person with 50,000. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah,
when you got invested interest into games like this, and you can run social experiments for it, right? I think it will do numbers.
that'd be interesting. I'll definitely tune in to watch
I would.
to see like the human side of stress and
Oh yeah,
whatnot, and
yeah.
see how people act and how
I
people
want, I
that'd
want,
be
I want, I
crazy.
want, I want to see how teams betray each other. The ones that are thinking, "Oh no, this boss has wiped out half our party. Do I run to the
Yeah,
exit? Do I teleport out?
that'd be crazy. Oh,
Do I
that'd be
teleport out
interesting.
and let them to enjoy die? Oh, wasn't that so and so? He was with the party. He was the only one left to live. Oh, he must be one of those guys. All right, I don't want to associate with him. Little packs,
That's crazy.
little,
That'd
little
be
social drama. And
that'd
then,
be mad.
imagine being the person that let your favorite die.
What if you let your favorite die for a step closer to
No,
the
but it's
grand
cool.
prize? That'd
It's
be
it's the stigma. It's a stigma attached to the action, right? That you really want
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
kind of get behind. But yeah, but like that's the idea, right? What do you think of it? I think it's mad if someone's able to
yeah.
do
I'll,
it.
I'll watch. I'll 100% watch.
Yeah. All right.
That'd be crazy to watch. That'd be a
All
good watch.
all right. So let's kind of
Okay, getting back to it.
let's get back into it. Yeah.
Let's get to your last one. The last
my
one, the second one.
my second one, I think we'll just do two each because
Second
like
one,
yeah, I think we took a lot of little side turns or
yeah.
avenues for it.
Oh, I
But
had a good third one as well.
all right, just pick your third one if you think it's a better
I'll
one.
briefly go over it. I won't do nothing crazy.
Yeah. All right. So
Big on. What's your second?
my second one or my best one is I want a proper Attack on Titan with Spider-Man 2 or graphics.
Hmm,
I want that
that'd be
kind of
good.
verticality. I want that kind of like epicness, open worldness of it, but I want to do it in
Hmm.
Attacking Titan gear. So the way I would envision it is like this, right? It would be kind of like a two-part game. It would be very
Hmm.
Monster Hunter hub based. So you go back into your city, right? And you'll have your own barrack, right? And you can meet the other players. You'll have loadouts uh, on weaponry and maneuverability, and because they got what do you call like that ODM, was it what omnidirectional movement system?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they would have that, right? But you would have it in different tiers and grades, and um, depending on how well you do your assignments, you would get currency or loot or something along those lines, right? Um, and
Hmm.
then what you would do with that is you would invest that into your character. And then when you're ready to depart, you could either do it solo or you could do it as a team, like Monster Hunter esque. But the
Hmm.
open world is the vastness of like what you would say Spider-Man, like a Spider-Man map, and the traversal would just be as dynamic as that. So you could have the ability to glide, you could
Hmm.
use the kind of web wings, and then you could use ranged weapons by using the lances. You got the omnidirectional blades. Um, you could use
Yeah.
lock-in systems. You could do all of that. And the way I would say it is, you get ranked on your hunts, on when you do these missions. I think the maximum you would have in
Yeah.
a group is six, right? And you would have
Okay.
different class of titans. So you had like obviously the wall breakers, you had the armored titan, you had all these different variants, right? You would also introduce kind of mutation, like you don't necessarily have to follow Attack on Titan, but you could have like different variants of them. And then you would
Okay.
go on these kind of hunts, and the hunts themselves you get ranked on your performance. So how much damage you take, how much damage you inflict, critical point hits, if there's a particular weapon type you use, blah 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 blah. And you earn badges based off rank, and then you cash that in, you spend it in the barracks, etc., and you can start doing stuff and upgrading your character. It'll follow a more kind of traditional RPG-ish route. However, the hunts will get harder and harder, progressively harder, right? So you have to be more
That makes
skilled.
sense. Yep.
You need better gear. Like your blades won't dull as much if you use higher tier gear. I want it to have like a a break system. Like your weapons will break, or your gear will break down, or
Yeah.
so there's a need for you to look after your stuff for it. Oh, and then you'll have the
Interesting.
different because in Attacking Titan you have the different guilds. Like, is it guilds? It's kind of like you're on the
Yeah,
expeditionary
3
forces.
groups. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
and each of them have different kind of abilities and different kind of equipment availability.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Like traits and stuff.
Yeah. And then traversal, it's going to be a mixture of things, right? So you could use horseback, you can use the ODMs, you can use, and the good thing is about Spider-Man, the reason why I thought about it was because in Spider-Man 2, when you start from the beginning, right, you have the Sandman right at the start, right?
Hmm.
And that was like fighting a freaking Titan in itself. And I was thinking to myself, right, how cool would this have been if it was like Attack on Titan esque and you're fighting a
That'd
massive
be
Titan?
interesting.
Yeah, because I was thinking like also with that you could really tell the story. It was like because you could do the story campaign as a with your friends in like a co-op mode, but then you could just have hunts like mission based hunts don't necessarily have to conform to anything. You could have like a free roam where you could just go on patrol, and on patrol
Okay,
you might discover something and you might like just you and your friends take it out and you might like find some missing equipment from a fallen expedition.
okay. Quick question: how would the missions take place? Would it be like an arena when you go into the hunt, or would it just be like open world and you just fight in the open world type of thing?
I think the missions will take place like very kind of Monster Hunt Wilds esque. So in Monster Hunt Wilds
Hmm.
today, the mission starts. So say for example, you just go out and you just want to go check out, say an area. You can start a mission there and then if you find a monster, and the mission can just start there. So it can be spontaneous, or you can take on requests on behalf of the guild. So the way I would see it's like this, right? You'll have requests sent to the guild, and they'll go, "Oh, the expeditionary forces need you to do X, Y, and Z." All right, you accept the request. So I was looking at kind of like the Monster Hunter Wilds model for this, but I want the traversal of Spider-Man because like today Spider-Man 2, right, if you go back and play Spider-Man 2 and you try to go back to Spider-Man 1, right, you're gonna like, where's my glide button? Because you notice
True.
it right away.
Yeah,
Like there's massive upgrades in Spider-Man 2 that you just realize, oh my god, why didn't they do this sooner? Because I found it weird because I was like playing Spider-Man 1 um after playing Spider-Man 2, and I just thought to myself, I can't do this.
good thing I didn't go back to one, then two. I ain't be back to one, so
Have you played Miles
I
Morales?
haven't had that problem yet. Yeah,
Because I was gonna say Miles
but I did
Morales.
it in order though. Yeah,
Yeah, I did it all the two, but like if you ever go back to play Spider-Man 2 to even Miles Morales, you're gonna miss those web wings. Because like I gotta say,
oh, yeah.
that gliding mechanic in Spider-Man 2 is the closest thing of perfect flying you're gonna get from any hero game, except for Anthem.
You think so?
Yeah, hands down. That flying mechanic,
Hmm.
that gliding mechanic, right? Name me that would have been perfect for a Superman game. Because when you're going under the bridge and you're just
Would it be fast enough though? Yeah,
hands down for Superman game, it's better than nothing. Like right now, I can't even imagine how where you would start. See, that's my issue, right? Superman doesn't work as a game.
that's the yeah.
It just
Unless
doesn't.
you nerf him to the ground, or
But the problem is though, why would
you,
you?
I
Why
don't
would
know.
you want to start off as a weak
Yeah,
Superman, redevelop your powers? To me, that sounds boring. I think playing the son of Superman is probably going to be better than playing Superman. Learning your powers and skill sets, but I don't want to get into the whole Superman
mm,
discussion. But my idea is Attack on Titan, Monster Hunter Wilds mission style with Spider-Man 2
mhm.
traversal mechanics, um, with a progressive leveling system to upgrade gear. Oh, and I
Okay.
would
What
like to
about
see.
the areas?
Oh,
Oh, go.
go no, no, go.
Oh, no, so what about the areas that doesn't have many buildings to use the ODM gear on?
See, that's what I want
How
to
would
introduce.
you?
That's what I want to introduce the mount idea. So introduce horseback
Oh, okay.
or thingies, because obviously ODM doesn't work well if you're not in a city esque kind of area, right? Or anything
Yeah.
that has trees. So I thought to myself, right, how do
Hmm.
you combat that? You have to introduce a second traversal mechanic. So that's the way I'll combat it, is just
Okay.
introduce horses.
Yep. Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting. Would I play it? Yeah, I would. I would try it. I would definitely try it.
Look, it's
I would
better
try
than the
it.
current Attack on Titan games. I hate the current ones.
Yeah.
Well, especially the one, was it? I bought the final, was it the final cut? What was it? Attack on Titan final cut on the Switch. That cost me getting a Switch copy of Attack on Titan. Let's see how much is it up to now. Right, and FO Final Battle, FOB Attack on Titan Switch Final Battle. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like £95.
95.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, that was mine. What's yours?
What, my last one?
Yeah, want to hear it?
Quick, I will quickly go over it since it's one of it's an anime I really liked from back in the day called Black Lagoon.
Oh, remind me.
Not
What's
sure
that about?
if you know it. Um,
Sounds familiar.
Basically, this businessman called Rock. He got kidnapped, and he gets dragged into this underworld of like it's a place called I'm gonna butcher the name. I've got a feeling
Hmm.
it's called Ranapur, I think, or something like that. It's like a place, like a city,
Yeah.
but it's very criminal based. It's very anything goes there type of thing. But there's certain factions there that keep the place under control, like the Russian mafia, these other companies. But the Black Lagoon company is it's like a company for hire. They do anything. They could do
Hmm.
transport. They could do kidnappings. They can do assassinations, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I was thinking, if you set it in that city and maybe areas around it, you probably
Hmm.
could get like a GTA Max Payne free type of game. Because like it's all about gunslinging. There's obviously there's melee combat as well, but
Hmm.
the main character, what's her name, Revi.
Yeah.
She's just Chinese woman that loves double pistols and she just runs around shooting. There's
Hmm.
all sorts of guns in there, so you can shotguns, automatics,
Hmm.
grenades. So like
Yeah.
it could be like a GTA Max Payne type of thing. So it'd be like I'll say even like who would you put like probably GTA type of map, like an open world type of thing.
Hmm.
They got missions in certain areas and different factions do different things and
Oh, damn.
maybe a grudge system as well. So say if you do one thing too much for say a certain company or a certain
Hmm.
group of people, the Russian mafia doesn't like it. So if you go in their territory, they might
Oh,
start shooting at you or something like that.
that's very Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws had a grudge
Yes, it could be
system as
something
well.
like that.
Hmm. So,
So if you could do something like that,
hmm.
yeah.
So it sounds like there's
So
not
they
going
could
to
do
be.
like third person shooter.
Well, it sounds like there's not going to be a
Go
skill
on.
system then.
How do you put it? You might not. Could you put a skill system?
Because if it's very
Maybe
GTA
with
esque,
certain ways. Yeah,
I was going to say if
you
it's.
probably could level up
Sorry,
how accurate you are with guns and stuff.
yeah, I was going to say you could do it with weaponry, right? Because like
Hmm.
the issue with GTA is it's never your build, it's your play style that kind of determines the type of person you are. Whereas Cyberpunk, it was
Hmm.
your cyber wares, right? Where you had
Yep.
different like mods and stuff. So I was curious in the world of Black Lagoon. Sorry, I've never watched it. Um, do you have augmentation or something like that?
Oh no. You just think of it as like I say like normal days, but it's like GTA. There's no augmentation, just people,
Hmm.
violent people. Criminal underworld. So you got all sorts of weapons, rocket launchers. So it's like yeah, it's based like that. I'm not sure if you could do like specializations, like maybe like a gunslinger. You're very good with certain types of guns, like maybe pistols and one-handed weapons. You might have a faster draw speed. You might be able to do trick shots like ricochet bullets or something, or like tactician, maybe move faster between covers and stuff like that. Maybe one's better at melee combat
Hmm.
if you get into range and stuff like that. So yeah, just like there's all you can experiment with that, but I think it'd be more on the GTA type of side
Nice.
where you just like level up accuracy and things like that.
I was going to say like that sounds to me like a game I'd definitely be interested in. because I like the idea of a faction system, um, a mafia-esque type thingy where you do also hits.
Yeah,
So I like the idea of someone taking a contract out on you as well.
yeah. That happens. And people ask you to do hits for them and smuggle stuff. There's gang wars.
Do
There'll
you
probably be
see?
like
Do you
a
see like an
civil war
online?
within the city.
Do you see an online element to it?
I think it could, like, was it GTA 5? They
Online.
did that. So you probably could get something, you could probably get away with that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's
That'll
a great
be,
idea.
yeah.
So,
So
like,
yeah, I think that, yeah.
how in line with the anime would it be? Like, because I'm assuming the anime factions were balanced, right? Or was it balanced?
It was kind of balanced, but the Russian mafia, like, kind of, if they come around, you're kind of like, you're in trouble type of thing. But people do try to oppose them, but the Russian mafia, like, the boss of
Yeah,
the area. Because they're like, what are they? Former Russian Spetsnaz, what is Spetsnaz or something like that?
yeah,
Former Russian military and special agents and stuff like that. And they all just disbanded, but they came together as a group under that. So it's like, yeah. And they're very organized. So if they show up, they know how to employ tactics of guerrilla warfare and all that. We also get like other people that try and
yeah,
come in, make a name for
yeah.
themselves,
So
other,
that's
stuff like that.
yeah, that's very interesting. So, like to me, like that kind of dynamic of how factions interact with each other is probably going to be the key to like how
Yeah.
successful the game is, right? Because like when you build environments or world building like that, where you have a balance between different factions and thingy, it's like your interaction is probably going to go around and destabilize that. So it's like, what is the what happens when you do X, Y, and Z for a certain faction against another faction, and then how does that
Hmm.
disturb the balance of the game, and how does the game deal with it? You know what I mean? Because like to me, if
Yeah.
you went out and you did a hit, right, and you took out like several key people, right, and their mission based scripts, or if you go off the script, right, and you start just doing
Hmm.
some madness in someone else's territory, how does the game try to balance that?
Yeah. They'll have to come for you at some point, right?
Yeah, of
So
course. But
yeah,
like,
it
does
adds
it
that certain
accelerate?
elements, which is good.
Yeah, does it accelerate that whole
Probably
kind of?
does.
Hmm.
I'd say it would. Because imagine like someone's just in your area, just effing everything up, like they're disturbing trades, they're like people that you rely on to give you money
Oh
or get
yeah,
you money, they're dead. It's like, what? No, we can't have this.
yeah,
Gotta go get
and
them.
I totally
So,
agree, and I totally agree because
so yeah, that'd be good.
because like I would like a kind of more dynamic storytelling that interacts with say how annoyed a faction is with you, right? So say your
Hmm.
notoriety gets up to a certain level within a particular faction. I want their actions towards you to change drastically. So
Yeah.
before, like, say, oh, you're a 1 star petty criminal, you know, like a non-threat. Nah,
Hmm.
let things slide. And then a non-tolerable threat, right? An untolerable threat that cannot exist within our space. So we need to deal with you on
Hmm.
site, and that is what I want to
Yeah.
see. Is like, how do you deal with those kind of threats? So yeah, I like the idea. I love that idea. I love faction
So
based
yeah, I
games
think
when
that
you
could
have
work.
that kind of mechanic because I think what it is, the possibilities are endless with how you kind of
Hmm.
how because like your game is going to be completely different from my game, you know, because your
Yep.
actions will be different from mine. So how the world kind of reacts to it. It sounds like a more difficult game to build though. Like
Probably is.
yeah.
There's like different elements, different missions, different. Yeah. But I think if it was built, I think it would be worth it, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Cool.
Okay, let's go into your third one.
All right. My final one
Waiting for
is
this.
well I had two, right? Because
Hmm.
there was an anime I think kind of deserves a game, but then I realized, well, there kind of is a game for it, but it's not based on the anime. It's a completely different franchise altogether, but they were kind of like the same world. And
Hmm.
you ever heard of an anime called Escaflowne?
Escaflowne. Oh, Escaflowne, the pages.
Yeah, so Escaflowne was an anime
Okay, go
about
on. I'm intrigued. Go on.
yeah, so it was about a prince from a fallen kingdom, whose kingdom got attacked by a neighboring one, and I think he basically uses this ancient mecha that takes the form of a dragon that can turn into like a mobile suit. And this girl from the current world kind of goes into their world, and helps
Mhm.
him activate Escaflowne. It's something along those lines. I've watched it ages and ages ago, and it kind of reminded me, well, this is very White Knight Chronicles. And have you ever played the game White Knight Chronicles?
I haven't. No, I haven't. No, no, I haven't.
So White Knight
Have I?
Chronicles, yeah. So
No.
well, White Knight Chronicles is a game where very similar. Think about ancient times where they had mecha, and they can transform into these towering robots. And the reason why I said, well, there's a game that already exists. And then that led me onto a different trail of thought. A Gundam Xenoblade Chronicle X esque game. So I
Go
actually,
on. Go on.
because like one of the things I've been playing a lot recently is a Gundam has never really had its own RPG until Gundam Until Dawn. Was it Until Dawn? What's a Gundam? RPG. Sorry, let me just get the right name. MS Saga: A New Dawn. So, Gundam MS Saga: A New Dawn, right? It's like your traditional PS2 RPG, but you build your own Gundams. That's the cool thing. You could take parts of other Gundams and just slap them together,
Yeah.
and you get your own unit for these free
Nice.
pilots. And I thought to myself, right, I want another Gundam RPG because I played MS Saga like religiously. No one's played that game more than I have. Um, and the thing that really annoyed me about Gundam games today is they got such a rich story and history, but all the games
Mhm.
are key focused on is the actual mecha battles themselves, right? Where you would have like arena fighters, you get a couple of Musu games, then you get super deformed cross generation kind of games. SD Gundam G
Yep.
Generation and all those other ones are the 2D pixel ones, but I want to see a 3D JRPG mechanics Gundam game that has the same abilities as Xenoblade Chronicles X. So, for those who are not aware, Xenoblade
Mm.
Chronicles X is probably one of the greatest mecha games that have been ever created. So, what it is that you have the ability to pilot mecha, but you can run around as a small person. You can switch to your mecha instantly. You can fly in your mecha in an open world esque game, and then you engage in combat
Mhm.
in a turn based RPG ish kind of way. So, let me. Chronicles X. It's right now. The only reason I don't play it,
Interesting.
the only reason I don't play it is because on the Switch 2, is because I'm waiting for a patch. When they do the patch on the Switch 2, then I will play it. But
You're back on it. Okay.
then yeah, I'm back on it. But like right now, Xenoblade Chronicles X is probably one of the greatest kind of mecha RPG kind of hybrids I've seen in a long time, and I would love the fact that if you did a Gundam version of it. So imagine um, you would have your pilots in Gundams, but you can customize your Gundams, but it's kind of like that Xenoblade Chronicles fighting type combat system. So, you would
Yeah.
select the ability, you can reposition them to get better positions like attack from the flank, attack from the sides, all this other stuff. The standard craziness you get in Xenoblade, but set in a Gundam world. That's what I would love to see. So the mechanics would follow very similar to Xenoblade Chronicles. The only thing I would change is the ability to build your parts based off a brand new story. So don't base it on one Gundam series, right? Pull
Mhm.
through the history of Gundam, but build its own universe or its own world. Very similar to what you did in MS Dawn Saga. So give it its own unique narrative. Find the blueprints of the Gundams you want to build and use those parts to construct your Gundam. and each of those parts will have weaknesses. You can have your own build mechanics. You could have a plethora of
Hmm.
things, and your pilot will have its own stats as well, and its abilities. Like for example, like have the zero system. That would be cool.
About to ask about that.
Yeah. So I was thinking the
Would you
zero.
introduce a zero
Oh,
system or
I'll introduce every single system that Gundam allows you to introduce.
would you have to mix systems or have to pick one at a time?
One at a time, because obviously one suit, one system, right?
Cool. Just making sure.
Like for
Just
example, like you want,
see if it'll break anywhere.
yeah, because what I want is the pilots are cool, but you should be able to have like like a junctioning system. So you can
Hmm.
junction, say, Hero Yui, and then all of a sudden that makes you a compatible with zero system, or
Yeah.
you could junction a more array and you get new type abilities. So therefore you can use funnels and all those other cool stuff in like New Gundam. You know, like you could have those kind of systems in place. But I just
Yeah.
wanted I'll give my right arm for a Gundam Xenoblade-esque game, an open world game where I can just pilot my wing Gundam in bird mode
Hmm.
over the skies of a vast map.
Would it be turn based or would it be just
No, it'll
open
be
combat?
it will be it will be that kind of weird Xenoblade system, right? So the Xenoblade system's this: you can move the characters within a confines of like an arena. So when you engage, so say for example, two enemies meet, they engage, or
Hmm.
create an arena, and then you would fight. Your party would be in that arena, and say you have a tank, the monster will face the tank. You can reposition your character, and then you can fire off an action bar, right? And the monster will have weaknesses to side. Sorry, your abilities will have strengths. So your Buster Cannon can only work on, say, unarmored parts. So side attacks. If the animal has
Hmm.
no defense or whatever you're fighting, it doesn't have no defense from the rear, and you got an ability that has rear ability buffs, then you could do that. It's a flank system, so it'll be standard.
Oh, fair enough.
So yeah,
That's
I want to see
that could
that.
that could work.
I want to see every Gundam part you can mix and match. You don't have to go down to the technical level of, oh, you can only have like we can mix and match arms. Make it simplistic as possible, right? Take the build, like just say torso, arms, legs, and head. That's it. That's all you can change out, right? And then the weapon loadouts,
Hmm.
will be determined based off, okay, what arms do you have? Okay, it can use the Buster Cannon, because you don't want to be giving like gun tacker Buster Cannon or something like that, or use
I was gonna
the
say, how would you
just do what MS Saga did.
balance the whole thing?
MS Saga did it. So each item or weapon will have a level. So you can't use a level 5 weapon on a level 20 boss because it will do nothing, no damage. And to unlock more rarer parts, you need to do
Yeah.
you have to get blueprints, and they're hidden throughout the 3D world.
So you fly around and discover them, or they be
Yeah,
like
yeah,
from
like it's kind
mini
of bit.
bosses or bosses?
Well,
Okay.
it's going to be like your more kind of traditional kind of exploration, right? So you need to explore in order to find them,
Mhm.
and then you'll have to fight probably secret bosses to unlock some of them.
Would it be like some sort of guide, like a little hint on a map or
No, no,
something, or you
no, no, no. You've got to
just run
find them.
into
You've
it?
got to run into it. You have to find it. It's like no offense,
Okay.
right? It's like when you played Final Fantasy 7 and you had to find some of the secret bosses. You had no freaking clue. You had no clue. Like for example, when you
True. True.
Final Fantasy 8, when you had to run up Barmet's arms and stuff, and you were taking him out, you didn't know that. You didn't know where the hidden caves were.
True.
Like, so see,
True. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm just saying, bring back some of the old mechanics, because like you can't spoon feed everyone, and it shouldn't be that easy. You shouldn't make a game that easy enough for it to be spoon fed. But I would love to see a Xenoblade Chronicles X game based in the Gundam universe. Um, Escalaflone as well. If you can't do Gundam, do Escalaflone in a Xenoblades type game. Because Escaflowne itself deserves a game because it's such a great series and so well contained.
What was it? Would it also fit the theme of Evangelion? Would you say?
What the we,
Or was that too limited?
what no
Like the
what
way that how their mechas operate.
no yeah it's too limited. No way.
Too
Evangelion
limited. Okay.
Evangelion they got a massive problem in Evangelion. You can only fight in the confines of the city and they're all battery powered. They can only
Oh,
last a
fair
certain
enough.
amount of time, and plus, then they lose control.
Is
And
that
then,
5 minutes or something?
yeah, 5 minutes. There's a plug system as well. They need to go through, and you know, how many? You only get one angel a a year, a month. I don't know how many angel attacks they regularly have.
I
It's
can't remember.
it's because the problem with Evangelion, right? And this is my issue with it is that the attacks are too far between to have any sort of sustainable
Hmm.
gameplay. That's why you're never going to see a good Evangelion game because most of it is about the drama. It's not about the actual um, angels.
Okay. Oh, what's that movie?
What's that?
Oh, what was that movie?
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, that's there. Specific. Yeah, that
No, F that,
could
man.
that work with this type of?
I hate Pacific Rim.
Yeah, I.
I hate
Okay,
Pacific
so that's an
Rim.
overview.
I hate the idea. You need two pilots in sync to
That's stupid. I don't understand
yeah,
that.
I hate all that. And then Idris Elba's entire speech in that movie. No, that movie can that movie can go die a death. I hate it. I hate the entire concept of Pacific Rim. Just so. It's like it's such a what if America did Gundam esque kind of moment. It was like, yeah, I know. I just didn't like it.
Okay.
And it was so you know what really is so on the nose with this is what Russia's mecha looks like, and it looks like a bloody nuclear reactor in massive iron armor. And then this is what China's one looks like. It's got three arms and it's all like high tech and futuristic. Oh, come on. It's too on the
Yeah.
nose. It's like everything was too on the nose about that movie. I hated it. Hated it. Um,
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
and then the second movie was just garbage. Come on.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, don't. Just don't. How about
Yeah,
this?
well, I know. That's-
Do you realize what you realize what the kaiju's were though? Aliens trying
What
to
were they?
conquer the world by using dimensional rifts. So kaiju's were actually bioengineered monsters to flatten the world so these aliens can come in and take over. Like out of nowhere. Out of nowhere they lumbered it in the second movie. I don't know. They ruined it. They ruined
Okay.
it. But thank God we got Godzilla back, huh? Thank God we got Godzilla back.
All right, sure.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. So that was my one. What's your one then?
I think that was it.
What
I
was
done
it?
through.
So just to recap, we did my memory is
Oh crap, what was
awful.
it?
So yeah. So what
It
was
well,
your
mine
one?
was Berserk,
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter, and Black Lagoon.
Cool. And then mine was Kura Kura no Basket. Uh
Hmm.
what was it? Kura Kura no Basket, Attack on Titan, and then Gundam slash
Pacific Rim.
no, not Pacific Rim, you prick. Kura Kura no Basket as was it Gundam and Escaflowne? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I think that's it. I think
all right. So interesting
that's the
one.
wrap up.
I think that was
Hmm.
a great kind of theory crafting. I think we came up with some killer game concept. I loved the bit about the server of just players. I would
That'd
love
be
to see that.
interesting.
Yeah, man, I would tune into that. I wonder if anyone's got the balls to do it.
I think Mr. Beast probably could pull it off. Because from what he does some crazy things. I
I
wonder if the
would.
Sidemen could do it like KSI and them.
No, fuck them.
I'd watch it.
I don't care.
No,
If
no, what
someone can do it, right? But just get like the top MMO people. I just want to see some of the craziness people would do for money.
I mean, it doesn't have to be top MMO people. Just like just say average players or above average players.
No, but
Get them in and see what happens.
I want to see peak gameplay as well.
Okay, fair enough.
I want to see like how guild masters get
I
their
want to see
best gear.
chaos.
I want to see chaos too, but you will see
Um,
chaos. But like the good thing is you need a mix of people. And I want people live streaming it to the point of where they
mm,
get knocked out. And then I just want to see it boil down to the
ooh,
final group or herd of people. I want to know what they do to kind of screw
the
someone
last
over.
10 or 5.
Hmm.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
So
That'd be crazy.
before we conclude this thing, so what you got planned this week?
This week, nothing special, just training work. That's it, really. Is it? What about you? What you got planned this week?
Holiday, holiday,
Oh yeah,
holiday.
show
Oh,
off.
that's it. I'm going on holiday, mate. Going on holiday.
And some of us are stuck here. Well,
Mm, it's gonna be lovely weather. I can't wait. Anyways, guys,
Hope you
bring it
enjoy
to
that.
you. Hope you enjoyed that. That was a great bit of theory crafting. If you think there's an anime that we have not talked about that you think makes a better game, stick it in the comments. We'll love to hear back about it. We'll even talk about it in the next episode. Yeah, so we'll be back same time, same place about a different topic.
Hmm.
Yeah, and we'll love to hear your feedback. So please like and subscribe, give us a follow. And if you got any ideas of what you want to hear from us, give us a shout. We're a very small channel. We're looking to
Hmm.
grow, you know. So please feel free to share. If you want to talk about something more specific, just put it in the comments. We're always reading. And Adrian and myself,
Hmm.
we are now also on Twitter. So give us a follow. Um, I try to post whenever I can. I'll admit it. I'm not very regular on there, but if you guys want to actively engage us, maybe it will force us to do it as well. But we'll love to hear from you.
Sure.
Is there anything you want to add?
Um, all feedback's appreciated, to be honest. Also, what do you think of our games and any ideas you lot got? Love to hear it.
Yep. All right, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you have a great week and enjoy the heat. Have a great day. Peace.
Peace.